This season finale of OG starts with Maci. Her kids are playing around as usual, and Maverick's in a box like a cat. Maci knows by now that Mackenzie is pregnant, and she says once the baby is born, it still won't change her custody agreement with Ryan. He still can't see Bentley by himself until he passes a drug test. Mackenzie is at the doctor's. Ryan's chewing something or eating a lollipop as they show the baby's sonogram. He says it looks like a boy, so he probably wants a boy, but it's too early to tell. The due date is October 15, 2018, almost exactly a decade after Bentley was born. Ryan's clearly so excited that he can't contain himself. Not excited for the baby, but he can't wait to go lie down. He says, alright, let's get out of here so I can lay down. Andrew's friends are producing some show that they filmed a couple years back, but didn't have the funding to continue until now. Andrew says he wants everyone in LA, him, Amber, and the baby, so he can produce the show over the summer, and he announces this to Amber. She's like, oh, that's exciting, but in a hesitant voice. Amber says she has friends in LA, and she wants to take Leah there, but it'll definitely be harder to see Leah if she moves because she lives with Gary. Kaitlyn comes home from rehab after Christmas. Nova says, thank you for coming back, which is precious. Mackenzie is telling her in-laws about the pregnancy, and she says the due date is October, like Bentley. She says that. I wonder if she planned that. Then she tells them how she announced the pregnancy to Ryan. She put the pregnancy test that she peed on in his McDonald's bag. He threw it and screamed, what's that? Because it could have been anyone's. Could have been like a random person dropped it in there. And Mackenzie's like, well, I'm pregnant. But even once he realized it was hers, he panicked even worse. And he's like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Running around. And she was like, it's okay, silly, we're married. Like that was the issue, and not that he's a recovering heroin addict who doesn't see his first kid. That was a wild ride. I wish we could have seen it on camera, but she was just describing it. Mackenzie gives me weird vibes. End of story. Kaitlyn talks about her aftercare rules. She's supposed to use a phone with no social media, and she's supposed to do writing about Nova and Carly, like writing them letters. Tyler shows her the house they're working on, and she seems really disconnected and disinterested in it. It's Amber's weekend with Leah, but she'd rather go to her friend's house than be with Amber. Leah wants to sleep over at her friend's house. She says Gary wants to make it so she doesn't see Leah, but really, it's obviously Leah who doesn't want to see Amber. Crystal says that maybe Amber should get Gary to switch his weekends with her so she can sleep over on Gary's weekend and she can have her on her weekend. Amber admits she's only here in Indiana for Leah and wants to move to California. Crystal doesn't seem to like that idea. Kaitlyn is finding hard to get back into her routine. She says she needs to take Ativan just to make it through the day, and she feels guilty about her anxiety. She says it all stems from when she was a 12-year-old and her dad left her and she was 8 and her mom was drinking all the time and not being there. Tyler asks if it's his fault, but she says no, not at all. Then she announces that she's going back to treatment after barely being home, without even trying to do outpatient treatment. She likes the schedule and likes seeing the psychologist every day. She says she wouldn't blame Tyler if he wanted to just divorce her, but he said he'll never leave and he supports her 100%. Mackenzie, Ryan, and family are eating dinner. They show Ryan's high school picture, how far he's fallen, huh? Ryan says he feels normal though, and having a baby will help him stay sober. Larry says Ryan putting a story out there could help a lot of people, and Ryan just kind of nods absent-mindedly. Really, Ryan has this platform to do so many good things. He could write a book about his addiction, or even do YouTube videos. But could you really see Ryan doing any of that? Instead of trying to help anyone else around him, he'd rather threaten Maci and be rude and cold to his wife. And not have a career, of course, or anything going for him. Tyler seemed supportive of Kate earlier, but now with his sister Amber, he lets his true feelings out. He says it pissed him off a little bit that Kate didn't even seem to consider any other options, and when he asked, what about Nova, how's she gonna do it without you here? She said, oh, she'll manage. Tyler was furious at that. He's like, she's 3, she can't manage anything. He even compares Kate to his deadbeat dad Butch, who left Kim to manage all her kids by herself because he thought she could do better. Tyler thinks maybe he's not good enough for Kaitlyn and she should find someone else. The cracks are starting to show here. Maci's twin, or I guess that's her mom, is back on screen for the first time in a while. Maci says her people know people, and she knows Ryan's not clean. They discuss that for a little bit. Her mom says at the end of it all, Ryan's the one responsible for all this, not anyone else. Yep, not Maci, not Taylor, not MTV. It's all Ryan's fault. I agree. Ryan and Mackenzie drive home from the appointment. Ryan honestly seems like he's having withdrawals here. He's saying it's cold when it's not actually cold. He seems like he's gonna throw up, and he slept the whole way home. Ryan gets out of the car with his ass crack showing, and when they get inside, he says, I think we just need to take a break for 9 months, Mackenzie. That's the best thing to say to a pregnant woman. She'll love that. But we all know Ryan's not going to leave Mackenzie for her pregnancy, because then who's going to chew his food and wipe his ass for 9 months? Amber and Andrew are cuddling and talking. Amber says she doesn't want to go to court for more Leah time because she's 9 by now and she's used to Gary's house. She doesn't want to take her out of that. She says, I put myself in prison for her again. I think we need to start a counter of how many times Amber mentions her going to prison, like it's something to be proud of. It's not. Kate takes Nova to school, but she has a bit of a tantrum when Kate says she can't pick her up. Kate leaves to treatment yet again without really telling Nova that she was leaving. And that's it for this season finale of Teen Mom OG. Do you think Kaitlyn's being lazy by constantly leaving Nova and her responsibilities to go to treatment? Or do you think it's what's best for her? Do you think Amber is going to end up living in LA permanently and barely seeing Leah? Let me know in the comments what you thought about this season, and make sure to subscribe for recaps every week.